Hi, welcome to Blooms by the Box. I'm so glad you stopped by to watch our video. Today we're going to show you how to make a really beautiful fall and winter arrangement. And it definitely fits into that garden, lush, beautiful romantic wedding feel that's so popular right now. So what we did first was we ordered the wholesale flowers, soak your floral foam. So what we did was we filled a big bucket of water with water and flower food. And then we actually just put the flower foam inside the bucket and we let it sink. Make sure you let it sink and that you don't push the foam under the water. And that way it'll fully saturate and there will be enough water to really make this arrangement last a really long time. So once you're done, you're going to actually cut down your floral foam to fit inside your vase. And then you can just go ahead and insert the foam into the vase. Now, I've cut down all of the flowers already because it's kind of a long process. Make sure that when you're DIYing, you make enough time to actually cut down all the stems. And you're going to need to remove all the bottom leaves so that you can insert them into the arrangement, because if the leaves are in the foam, you're going to have a little bit less room to put more stems. So once you've removed all the bottom leaves, like for example like this from your flowers, then you can begin to start to arrange. So the first rule of thumb is kind of that in this garden and lush look, you really want to always start with your greenery because that's the base of making something look lush. So we got some copper here, and this is really going to fit that really beautiful, deep dark tones, browns and reds and peaches and creams, that kind of color scheme, and that's why we chose this specific one. So you're always going to need to prune things down, and that's just part of the process. So don't get worried if you receive things and they look kind of big to you, because I know that's something I was always concerned about when I first started. I didn't know, how am I going to make this huge thing, work in a smaller centerpiece. So you really just cut things down and make them so that they're usable for you. So I'm going to go ahead and make a kind of drapey look. I want some of this to hang down a little bit. So I just cut the stem, and then I insert it right into the foam so that it kind of hangs down like this. And since I cut a bunch of pieces, I can kind of use it to make a bunch of different little sections in my foam. And now using greenery is always going to help you make your arrangement shape. So you always want to use greenery to help you form that look. And usually with greenery, you actually outline your arrangements. So I'm just going to keep going here until I get the look I want this greenery to give me. Now, the second greenery that you want to use is going to supplement the look that you've created in the shape that you started creating with your first greenery. So I selected something that, this is actually copper. This is what this is, copper green leaves. These right here are actually, they're not sword fern. They're called dagger fern. However, a lot of people use either dagger or sword fern. They're kind of interchangeable with each other. So if you can't find this on the website because it might be a little bit rare during times of year, you can always use sword fern. So you can always prune down by just removing some of the leaves on the bottom like this. So you just pull them down, and then you can cut the bottom of the stem. And I'm doing that with each and every one of them because they're kind of big for such a small vase. So you could just go with your instinct and place things as you see fit. Okay, so I kind of made an arrangement shape here with my greenery. Okay? So now what I want to do is I actually want to continue to add to this arrangement by putting in a lot of, you know, bigger flowers first. So that way I'm going to start with some roses. Now you just have to find your way through foam, insert the rose, and it'll stay there. The floral foam really is great because it actually helps you create a shape. It's really hard to use a pedestal vase or something so shallow like this if you don't have foam in it, because it will take up a lot more flowers to fill it, and you won't be able to create the shape that you really want on top. So that's why we really suggest, you know, using that foam to your advantage. I'm going to put this guy right there. This one's really big and beautiful. I'm gonna add some burgundy dahlias.